again from me, George Riley. Welcome to Craven Park, home of, at the moment, the #1 rugby league side in Hull Kingston Rovers, as Hull FC toiled and struggled last season. Hull KR impressed again under Justin Morgan, a 7th place finish, testament to the talent there is here at this stadium. We're going to meet some of the players today and the coach, Justin Morgan, as well. We're inside Craven Park, so let's go and have a little look around and see what we can find. This is the kind of tunnel area. That's where the away and home team sheets are put up just before the match. Visitors' dressing room here. Got Mr. Kitman here, have we?
Yeah, we have, yeah.
Are you washing? It smells quite fresh. Are you washing the kits?
I am, yeah. We're getting used to this, mate.
How did you get on?
We're one left just to run out, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But kit's a nightmare. Never been washed twice.
The Hull KR, the home dressing room, some of the players milling around already. Well, quite nice space in here. Hi, chaps. Right. I could see myself getting changed in here, no problem at all. And here we go out onto the pitch at Craven Park. And for once, actually, in Hull, it's not raining, which is nice. They've just redone this area, I'm told. Move the benches a bit. But here we are, main stand there. Pitch is in, well, fairly decent nick, cutting up a little bit. And the home and away benches, so this is Craven Park. Some of the big boys have actually really struggled to come here in the Engage Super League since Hull KR came up, a couple of seasons ago. They struggled a little bit in the first season, but last year, as I say, 7th place finish, very, very impressive. And they're 40-1 as short of that with the RFL's official bookmakers, William Hill, to win Engage Super League 14. They'll beguile with the likes of Paul Cook and Michael Dobson. Nick Fozzard arrives from St Helens. He will add some real go forward, and the ship will be steered once again by a coach with know-how in Justin Morgan.
They've been good so far. We've had a good pre-season. Touch wood, we haven't picked up any injuries along the way. We've had most of our squad here for most of the pre-season, and they're in fairly good shape. But you know, yeah, you can only get a good judgment on that once we start to play the fair income stuff.
Are you where you would like to be? I was speaking to Brian Noble yesterday, and he was saying, well, ideally I would like a kind of 3 or 4 more weeks with my players before the season starts.
Yeah, that would be ideal. You know, if we're sort of starting the end of February or early March would most probably be ideal, because obviously with the festive season it's difficult. You only get a really short period of time after you come back after your first initial training time, and you're really starting to focus on games already when you maybe need to be touching on a few other physical areas. So, but considering that that's out of my control, I'm reasonably happy where we're at the moment. What
can your boys do this season, Justin? I mean, looking around the place today, it's still quite a small family club, but you really proved with your 7th place finish last season that this club has Engaged Super League pedigree.
We want to win the competition. As simple as that. You know, we're not coming along to make up the numbers or anything like that. We want to make progress. That's the first step. But you know, there's 3 trophies on offer each and every year, and we want to be fighting for at least one of those. If you ask 13 other coaches, they give you the same answer. We're not there to just make improvements. We've been here for a couple of years now, and we've been fairly happy with our progress on the pitch and off the pitch. It's been steady, but it's been going in the right direction. And now, like all coaches and players, we want to be challenging for honours. So we're going out to win.
Tell me a little bit about the players you've brought in, just a handful to kind of polish your squad a little bit. I'm certainly looking forward to seeing what Nick Fozzard does in Hull KR colours.
Yeah, he's a big, aggressive thing that carries the ball exceptionally well. He's great around the training pitch as well. Got a huge amount of experience, along with Scott Wielden, another front rower that we brought in. That's got a great engine on him. He's been training the house down, really lifted the intensity of our sessions. Liam Colburn, you know, his versatility is first class. He's also proven over the last few years that he plays a lot of rugby over the year. So that's great. Ryan Estes from the National League as well. So you know, he's also going to add something to us. You know, he's got a determination that's fairly unique. To go along with all the other players that we brought in at the beginning of last year. I think we've got a nice balanced squad, but like everybody, we need to keep them on the pitch. We've got a lot more experience, I suppose, from our squad numbers 18 through to 25, which is going to help us, you know, when we're down to bare bones at some stage. But like everybody, if we can keep, you know, the core of our key players on the pitch for most of the season, I'm confident that we can compete with anybody.
Well, Justin Morgan talking about some of the young blood we could expect to see, some young names perhaps set to surprise for Hull KR this Engage Super League season. So let's speak to one of them. He's only 18. He's a hooker, Scott Spaven. Scott, good to speak to you. You must be quite excited about this.
Yeah, we had our first run out yesterday against Batley, so that was good to play with some of the players like Clint Newton, who's won the grand final in Australia, and Ben Galea, so it was good to play with them players.
Now you came through, you played reserve team first because there wasn't an 18s here, then you played 18s, 21s, and now coming through to play for the senior team. You must have started quite young.
Yeah, well, obviously my full family's always like the rugby, so one time when my dad brought me down to play when I was amateur, I think I was about 6 years old, so now like to be like 18, 12 years later, this is something I've always wanted to do, so I'm just happy it's come now. Yeah,
well, as I say, I mean, it must be, I used to want to be a professional sportsman, but I realised at a young age that I was just going to be rubbish. Well, obviously you can live the dream now. How have the senior players been with you? I mean, some of the players I would imagine you've kind of idolised growing up watching the game, yet now you're in the same dressing room.
Yeah, it's like I say, I still sometimes have to pinch myself to like we had a photo shoot the other day, and when I see my Spaven 25 on my shirt, it really hit me then. But like I say, when I've played for the academy and reserves, I've bumped into a few other players like Scott Morrell and stuff. So when I first came down, they made me feel welcome. So now I feel part of the group now.
Yeah, not too bad. A few bumps and bruises, but it's what everyone goes through. So I was struggling this morning getting up. Little girl trying to jump on me, but I weren't too bad. Not as painful as I'm expecting for in a few weeks' time. I
bet you can't wait for a few weeks' time, and you got the, as your coach was saying, you've got the three most successful clubs in Super League. First 3 rounds of Super League doesn't get much bigger.
No, it doesn't. But obviously, there's a challenge there. There's a challenge that we've got to step up to, and as you say, the most successful clubs, and that's what we're trying to emulate. We're trying to be as successful as them 3 clubs have been. So if we can get off to a good start, then it'll stand us in good stead.
What kind of success do you think you boys can have this season? Because you impressed last season, you proved a few people wrong, you finished just outside of the playoffs. You'll be looking for a little bit more this time.
Yeah, definitely. To be honest, we was pretty disappointed with last season. Obviously, when we got to the end of it, during the season there were some highs and some pretty lows. So if we can improve on that last season, the top 6 finish is what we're aiming for, and that's an improvement on last year. And obviously, the grand final's the aim at the end of the day.
What about some of the new boys who have come in? Nick Fozzard will be a bit of a character, I would imagine, as he always is around the dressing room.
Yeah, I've heard a few stories from his Saints days. Some lads have come across with some stories, but he's certainly been a character so far, and he's settling in well, as are Liam Colburn, Ezo and Scott Wielden. And obviously the young kids as well are doing well. A few of them on trials. Spaven's just joined us from the reserves, and he's impressing as well. So they've all settled in well, and I think they'll all add something to us.
So Hull Kingston Rovers, very much now an engaged Super League team, perhaps still a small club, but with a very, very big heart. They will need that. What a tough start to the new engaged Super League season. First 3 games, Bradford, Leeds, St Helens, the first 3 rounds of the new season. They start Sunday, February the 15th, away to the Bradford Bulls.